Hi everyone, CL Wells here from DCLWells.com. Thank you so much for pushing play. Today I actually want to read you an excerpt from a book. It's called In Darkness, a Light Still Shines, and it was written by Barry Feaker. And so I'll tell you just a little bit more after I read it, so here it goes. It was around 2 o'clock when my phone rang for the first time. On the other line was a nearby business owner whom I had never met. I could tell he was eager to speak to someone in charge, and he abruptly asked if I was the new director. When I confirmed I was, he told me there was a drunk walking down the middle of the street towards the mission with his pants pulled down. He was clearly disgusted and told me I needed to do something about it quickly. I thanked him for the information and promptly rushed outside. 10 inquisitive men, who were already suspicious of me invading their territory, followed closely behind, eager to see what I was going to do. I looked north and immediately spotted a man who was slowly shuffling down the street in our direction, with his trousers dropped down around his ankles. He appeared elderly. His body was thin, and his skin extremely weathered. His clothes were dirty and tattered. The closer he came, I was able to realize he was not intoxicated at all, but instead worn and aged beyond his years. The man stuck out his hand in a gesture for help up to the sidewalk where I stood. I helped him up the curb, and with his head down he timidly asked if I had a belt. I was not sure if I'd heard him correctly. "A belt," he softly continued. "I need a belt to keep my pants up." I awkwardly looked at the watchful men onlookers who had followed me outside and asked if we had an extra belt. One of the men thought he could find one and ran inside to check. As we waited, I asked the man if he needed a place to stay or something to eat. He declined them both, but when I asked if he was thirsty, his eyes lit up and he immediately said yes. A couple of the men brought him some water from inside, and he eagerly guzzled down 5 large glasses as we waited for the belt to be obtained. Within a few minutes, a man from inside the mission returned with the makeshift belt he had managed to find. I handed it to the man, but when I did, he paused and bashfully looked into my eyes. "I am so sorry," he humbly began, "but I broke my back years ago in a construction accident, and I can't pull my pants up. Will you pull my pants up for me?" That's the end of the excerpt. Again, this book is called In Darkness, A Light Still Shines, and it was written by Barry Feaker. He's the executive director at our local Topeka Rescue Mission. When I was doing some research for my book, I had scheduled a tour at the Topeka Rescue Mission, and that's how I learned about Barry's book. And what better way to learn about the Topeka Rescue Mission than to read the book the executive director wrote, right? And you'll be blessed by reading this book, seriously. It doesn't matter what your religious affiliation is. If you're a resident of Topeka, Kansas, you should really get to know the history on this place. It's absolutely amazing. If you're not a resident here, then I encourage you to really get involved with your local shelter. Not everyone can do something big. Sometimes you don't always have the time, but there are small things that you can always do to help. They always need toiletries. They always need toothbrushes and toothpaste. If you're a couponer, giving those things or creating care packets that they can hand out would be an amazing help. I mean, there are millions of different things that you could do. So I hope that encourages you. And what even made me want to read this today is I was just thinking of some old adages. You can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what someone's been through until you walked a mile in their shoes. You can be standing next to someone and have no idea what their story is. It doesn't matter if they're wearing a tuxedo or if their clothes are in tatters and barely held together by threads. So I hope that encouraged you. I really appreciate all your love and support, folks. Thanks for sharing my post. I really hope you share this post. If you don't share any other post or any other audio, share this one. Thank you. I love you. Have a blessed night. God bless you.